Hi everyone, please subscribe my YouTube channel. My spouse messaged me, I'm heading with the children to my folks' place and you'll never lay eyes on us anymore. My attorney will reach out to you. I merely responded, fine. That evening I forwarded to her attorney a recording she had no clue even existed. The following day, my cell buzzed. It was her attorney, and what he uttered afterward altered the entire course. I'm Mark 45, and I believed I possessed a solid union. Not flawless, but solid. Jessica and I had shared 17 years, wed for 14, with two youngsters, Emma, 12, and Noah, 9. We resided in a serene neighborhood, hosted cookouts on weekends, attended school meetings as a pair, the complete setup, or so I assumed. It began crumbling roughly 6 months back. Jessica grew aloof. She'd linger late at reading group or ladies' outings, 3, occasionally 4 evenings weekly. Her device suddenly required a passcode. She'd accept calls in the carport or the yard, always stepping away whenever I approached. Obvious indicators, correct? But I'm not the possessive sort. I thought perhaps she was overwhelmed navigating some issue, arranging a gift. I granted her room, then arrived that Tuesday, March 14th. I recall because it was Noah's special day the next morning, and we were meant to settle celebration plans that night. Instead, at 4:47 p.m., my phone vibrated. The message stated precisely as I outlined, icy, conclusive. No rationale, no feeling, just a proclamation that my household had vanished. I gazed at that note for perhaps 2 minutes. My palms stayed steady. My pulse didn't quicken. I simply sensed void. Then I entered, fine, that's all. One term, because truly, what more existed to express? If she'd resolved to shatter our household without even a discussion, then she departed me inwardly long prior to that message. I remained in our family room that night, in shadows, reflecting on the prior 3 months. You see, I'm not foolish. When Jessica's conduct shifted so drastically, I didn't challenge her right away because I needed to grasp the situation initially. Thus, I'd placed a surveillance device in our study 2 months before, camouflaged as an ordinary table timepiece. It featured movement detection and online backup. I convinced myself it was merely for reassurance that I'd likely discover zilch and feel silly. I erred. The recording revealed Jessica ushering someone into our residence. A gentleman. His identity was Derek. I learned that afterward. He served as her fitness trainer. Youthful, likely early 30s, with that irritatingly sculpted appearance that men like me can't rival at 45. They'd convene in our study while the youngsters were at classes, and I was at the office. The recording was incriminating. Embracing, improper contact, discussions about how she merited superior and how I was disengaged sentimentally and dull. The harshest element, in one clip from 3 weeks prior, she informed him, I'm escorting the children to my folks next month. I'll initiate separation, secure complete guardianship, and ensure he covers everything while we begin our existence together. That's when I realized this wasn't merely a fling. This was a deliberate scheme to ruin me monetarily and seize my offspring. So when that message arrived, I already possessed my reply ready. I'd already consulted a separation lawyer that morning, a fierce one named Patricia Morris, suggested by a coworker. I'd already duplicated all the surveillance material to 3 distinct storage units and transferred it to a protected online vault. That evening, after I answered fine to Jessica, I dispatched a lone electronic note to the lawyer whose title she'd mentioned offhand in her message. His title was Richard Feldman, a regional fellow who managed mainly amicable separations. I'd researched him. Average tier, not especially combative, likely accepted the matter because Jessica portrayed it as straightforward. The note was concise. Mr. Feldman, I comprehend you'll be advocating for Jessica Thompson in our separation matters. Prior to submitting any documents, I suggest you examine the enclosed recording files. They're marked with dates and times. There are 17 distinct events captured. Kindly counsel your client as needed. Mark Thompson. I included 5 of the most condemning segments, nothing explicit enough to qualify as retaliatory material or unlawful, but evident enough to demonstrate unfaithfulness, her scheming, and her aims concerning guardianship. Then I retired. I didn't rest much, but I followed the routine. The next morning, Noah's special day, coincidentally, my cell rang at 8:23 a.m. unrecognized caller. I picked up. Mr. Thompson, this is Richard Feldman. His tone seemed weary, pressured, not the assured lawyer tone I'd anticipated. Yes, I must discuss with you regarding your spouse's matter, or more accurately, what was intended to be her matter. Mr. Thompson, I've examined the recording you dispatched, all of it, several times, and There was an extended silence. I'm stepping down as her advocate immediately. I've already notified Mrs. Thompson this morning. What she portrayed to me and what your proof reveals are two entirely separate scenarios. She claimed this was a situation of sentimental disregard, that you were vocally harsh, that she worried for her well-being and needed to safeguard the youngsters. I've never laid a hand on her in rage. Never. I trust you. The recording displays. Well, it displays she's been engaging in an affair in your shared residence, that she's been plotting to submit bogus claims to achieve leverage in guardianship proceedings, and that she's been altering the story. Mr. Thompson, I can't morally advocate for someone who's deceived me this profoundly. I'm regretful you're enduring this. What did she express when you informed her? Another silence. She's ringing me right now, in fact. Numerous times, I'm not responding. I've forwarded her an electronic note officially stepping down. My suggestion to you? Secure a strong lawyer, record everything. Initiate filing first and brace for her to become extremely hostile when she grasps her scheme has crumbled. Already handled. Thank you for your candor. He disconnected. 2 hours later, Jessica rang me. I didn't pick up. She rang 6 additional times, then arrived the messages. Mark, what have you done? My lawyer abandoned me. What did you dispatch him? This is outrageous. We can discuss this. I erred. We can resolve this. Please, consider the youngsters. That final one made me chuckle sourly. Consider the youngsters. She'd intended to tear them from their father using fabrications, and now she urged me to consider them. I messaged back once. My lawyer will reach out to you. Don't approach the residence. Don't reach me again except via legal representatives. Then I restricted her contact. Update 1. Jessica's folks rang me that afternoon, her dad, Robert, whom I'd always harmonized with. Mark, what in the world is happening? Jessica's here weeping, claiming you've ruined her existence, that you forwarded some dreadful recording to her lawyer. Robert, did she disclose why she departed? Did she note she's been involved in an affair for months? That she ushered another man into our residence, our sleeping area, while the youngsters were at classes? Quiet. Because that's what the recording reveals. That's what 17 separate captures confirm. She didn't depart because I was a poor spouse. She departed because she was exposed. Good Lord, his tone faltered. She said you were sentimentally harsh, that you disregarded her. I have recording of her and her companion plotting this entire matter, Robert. Plotting to charge me with acts I never committed so she could obtain complete guardianship and claim everything. I can forward you duplicates if you wish to view what your daughter has been up to. No, I trust you. I know my daughter, she's always been strategic when she desires something. Mark, I'm regretful. I'm so regretful. Where are the youngsters? They're here. They remain unaware yet. They believe this is merely a stay. Can I speak with them? Naturally. Wait a moment. Emma answered first. Dad, when are you arriving? Mom said we're remaining here for a bit, but she won't explain why. My heart shattered. Hey, darling, I'm handling some adult matters now, but I'm going to visit you very soon, all right? How's your sibling? He's upset. It's his special day and we're not at home. We haven't even had dessert yet. I'll compensate for it. I vow I adore you both immensely. Adore you too, Dad. After disconnecting, I remained there sensing like the greatest failure on earth. My youngsters were bewildered and pained because their mother chose to demolish our household for a fitness trainer. Patricia, my lawyer, initiated separation that same day. She also requested urgent interim guardianship, referencing the proof of unfaithfulness, Jessica's scheme to fabricate claims, and the reality that she'd relocated the youngsters from the shared residence without my awareness or approval. The session was scheduled for 5 days ahead. Update 2. The guardianship session was grueling. Jessica arrived with a fresh lawyer, some novice fellow recently graduated who likely accepted the matter inexpensively. He was ill-prepared and overpowered. Patricia displayed the recording proof methodically. The adjudicator, a lady in her 60s named Barbara Chen, viewed chosen segments with a progressively rigid demeanor. Jessica attempted to claim that I'd infringed her seclusion, that the captures were unlawful. Adjudicator Chen halted that promptly. Mrs. Thompson, these captures were created in your own residence, in shared spaces, by a gadget owned by your spouse. There's no seclusion infringement here. What I observe is recorded proof of disloyalty and premeditated plotting to submit bogus claims in family proceedings. Do you comprehend how gravely I regard bogus claims in guardianship matters? Jessica began sobbing. I simply desired escape. He was never present sentimentally. I felt isolated. Then you initiate separation truthfully, Adjudicator Chen stated icily. You don't engage in disloyalty in your shared residence and plot to utilize your offspring. Mr. Thompson, I'm awarding you interim primary guardianship. Mrs. Thompson will receive monitored visits every other weekend until the ultimate separation ruling. I'm also directing a complete guardianship assessment. Jessica's complexion paled. Her lawyer attempted to protest, but adjudicator Chen lifted her palm. I've observed sufficient. Next matter. Exiting that chamber, I sensed justified but vacant. I'd triumphed in the skirmish, but my youngsters remained trapped amid this catastrophe. That weekend, I collected Emma and Noah from Jessica's folks' residence. Robert apologized once more softly, while Jessica remained indoors. The youngsters were silent during the journey home. Emma continued posing queries I couldn't completely address yet. Are you and Mom separating? Yes, darling, we are. Is it due to us? No, definitely not. This concerns nothing about you two. Your mom and I, we committed errors. Grown-up errors, but we both cherish you beyond anything. Noah, my 9-year-old, simply gazed through the glass. I overheard Grandma say Mom has a companion. Is that accurate? I clenched the wheel firmer. That's something your mom ought to discuss with you. But yes, is that why you're upset with her? I'm not upset, buddy. I'm pained. But I'm going to recover. We're all going to recover. That night I prepared Noah a special dessert, chocolate with vanilla topping, his preferred. We hummed the special song 3 Days Delayed. He grinned, but it didn't touch his gaze. Update 3. The separation required 4 months to complete. Jessica attempted to prolong it, expecting I'd yield, but Patricia was unyielding. The guardianship assessment returned firmly supporting me. The assessor's document highlighted Jessica's trend of deceit, her fling, and her readiness to fabricate claims. It suggested I keep primary guardianship with Jessica, receiving standard visits. Jessica's connection with Derek disintegrated within 6 weeks of the parting. Turns out he wasn't keen on a committed bond with a lady navigating a chaotic separation with 2 youngsters. Surprise, she attempted reconciliation once, about 2 months in. She appeared at the residence one evening when the youngsters were at a pal's place. Mark, please, can we converse? No, I committed a dreadful error. I was bewildered. I desire to return home. You lack a home here any longer. You selected your path. I was frightened. I felt unseen. I simply wanted to feel desired once more. Then you should have spoken to me. You should have proposed therapy. You should have done virtually anything except betray me, plot to ruin me, and attempt to seize my youngsters. I realize I erred. But we can mend this for Emma and Noah. No, Jessica, we can't. You didn't merely shatter my heart. You shattered my faith. You subjected our offspring to torment because you were self-centered. I could pardon many things, but I can't pardon what you attempted against me in proceedings. She departed weeping. I sensed nothing. The ultimate separation ruling arrived in July. I obtained primary guardianship. The residence divided possessions equitably in half. Jessica received every other weekend with the youngsters, certain holidays. She had to contribute a minor sum in child assistance, which likely wounded her ego. Final update: it's been 8 months since that message. Emma and Noah are adapting. They consult a counselor who focuses on offspring of separated parents. They're managing all right. Not excellent, but all right. Emma comprehends more than Noah, and occasionally I notice her furious at her mother. I attempt to deter that, even though part of me wishes to allow her to experience her emotions. Noah inquires sometimes if his mom and I might reunite. I inform him softly that we won't, but that we both cherish him. Jessica has relocated to a flat across the city. She's employed full-time now, something she hadn't pursued since Emma's birth. Her folks remain polite with me, which exceeds my expectations. Robert shared privately that he and his spouse held an extended discussion with Jessica about responsibility. I valued that. Derek, the fitness trainer, evidently relocated to another region. I don't know and don't mind. As for me, I'm mastering single parenthood. I'm mastering preparing improved dishes, to style Emma's hair for classes, to assist Noah with his arithmetic tasks without exhausting my tolerance. I'm discovering that I'm more resilient than I believed. Do I regret placing that device? No. It rescued me from years of legal fights, fabricated claims, and possibly forfeiting my offspring to someone prepared to deceive to prevail. Do I long for Jessica? I long for who I believed she was. I long for the notion of a unified household. But I don't long for the lady who could deceive me that thoroughly. Someone at the office inquired recently if I'd ever faith anyone again. Truthfully, I don't know, perhaps one day. But currently I'm concentrated on being the parent my youngsters require. That's sufficient. Edit. Numerous individuals have inquired about Derek and whether he knew Jessica was wed. From what I collected later via shared contacts, yes, he knew. He didn't mind. Evidently, he held a notoriety at the facility for this behavior. The facility ultimately dismissed him after other grievances emerged. Consequences are genuine. Edit 2. For those inquiring about whether I disclosed to Emma and Noah the complete reality, I shared age-suitable accounts. Emma knows her mother engaged in a bond with someone else while we remained wed. Noah knows less, just that Mom and I couldn't resolve matters. Their counselor suggested this method, and I'm adhering to expert advice. When they're mature, they can learn everything if they desire.